Savitri has discovered her soul, the divine force, the consciousness force, its portion is established within it. But Savitri has to meet the challenge of the inconscient creation. Somebody rising from the nether depths is not going to accept this presence in the soul of Savitri. Savitri hears a voice, an ocean of terror and of sovereign might. That is what Savitri is going to face. An ocean of terror and sovereign might. A person and a black infinity. Soul is one with the divine. The divine has already established himself in the soul. But what about nature? The physical nature, the vital, the mental, the inconscient brute that we are. What about that? And it is not going to accept anything which will be coming from the higher source. Therefore, Savitri has to face a person, the black infinity itself taking the shape of a person, and that person is challenging Savitri. He is asking her, who art thou who claims the crown of separate birth? You think you are specially born here? This is the creation of inconscience. Don't think that there can be anything here apart from that. The illusion of the soul's reality and personal Godhead on an ignorant globe in the animal body of imperfect man. This is what you want to do? You want to claim in this illusion of soul's reality, in this ignorant world, in the animal body of imperfect man, that the divine can come and stay here? Is that the kind of a special birth you are asking for, you are desiring, you hope it to be here? Forget about that. It cannot be. Who art thou who claim the crown of separate birth? The illusion of thy soul's reality and personal Godhead on an ignorant globe in the animal body of imperfect man. Hope not to be happy in a world of pain, and dream not listening to the unspoken word and dazzled with the inexpressible ray, transcending the mute superconscious realm, to give a body to the unknowable, or for a sanction of that, or for a sanction to thy heart's delight, to burden with bliss the silent, still, supreme, profaning the bare and formless sanctity, or call into thy chamber the divine, and sit with God, tasting a human joy. Who art thou who claims the crown, the victory, the triumph. You are claiming that. Who art thou who claims the crown or separate birth, that you are somebody special? Who art thou? What do you think about yourself? Hope not to be happy if it is the separate birth, if it is the crown you are hoping it to be, then give it up. Hope not to be happy in a world of pain. It cannot exist here in a world of pain. And dream not to give a body to the unknowable. Unknowable is beyond the unknown, and you want to give a body to that. Forget about it. Hope not that dream. It cannot happen in this world of pain. And dream not listening to the unspoken word. You are hearing some voice, some word, and you are going by that. And dazzled with the inexpressible ray, you are seeing light, some brilliance. You are dazzled with that. You are hearing some inexpressible word. All that which transcends the mute superconscious realm, to give a body to the unknowable, or for a sanction to the heart's delight, to burden with bliss the silent, the supreme. It is that silent supreme who is sort of happy there. Why do you want to burden him here with thy heart's delight in this creation? You are defiling, you are misusing, you are employing something unworthy for that kind of a thing to happen. Profaning his bare and formless sanctity. You are doing something unworthy. You are trying to give to the bare and formless sanctity a burden of bliss. You want to call down the chambers in this world, the divine, and sit with God, tasting a human joy in this human creation. While you are tasting human joy, you want to also sit along with God? Hope not to do that. Hope not to be happy in a world of pain, and dream not to give a body to the unknowable. Burden with bliss the silent, still, supreme, profaning its bare and formless sanctity, or call into that chamber, the divine, and sit with God, tasting a human joy. Hope not to do that. That is what that person, that black infinity, is telling Savitri. I have created all. It is this black infinity who has created all these things, the inconscience. I have created all. All I devour. I take back into myself whatever I have created. I am death and the dark, terrible mother of life. I am Kali, black and naked in the world. I am Maya, and the universe is my cheat. It is the dance of Kali that destroyed Paris in the early years of the Second World War. Kali in a naked dance. I am Kali, black and naked in the world. She wanted to destroy the whole civilization. She wanted to put the clock of destiny back by 50,000 years. And this is what happened. I have created all I devour. I am death and the dark, terrible mother of life. I am Kali, black and naked in the world. I am Maya, and the universe is my cheat. I lay waste human happiness with my breath. I breathe and whole human happiness disappears. And slay the will to live, man's will to live. It is that itself actually. The joy to be, that all may pass back into nothingness and only absolute and only abide the eternal and absolute. The purpose of my activity or my actions is that only the eternal and absolute stays. Nothing, no creation of it at all. The absolute and the eternal is beyond his powers. He cannot destroy, change them at all. So they had to stay there. But what the absolute and eternal has produced, has given rise to, has created, it is that I can swallow and I can remove that thing totally. And slay the will to live, the joy to be, that all may pass back into nothingness and only abide the eternal and absolute. For only the blank eternal can be true. Whether it is white eternal or black eternal, that is not a thing. But a blank eternal is the only thing which is true. The rest is a creation which has no value, no content, has no reason to be there, cannot exist of its own. It is that I devour and lay everything flat, destroy everything. For only the blank eternal can be true. That is my charge. That is my work. Therefore I am death. I am Kali. I am Maya. I take these forms to remove everything that is created here. All else is shadow and flash in mind's bright glass. This is your mind which thinks of all these things, happiness, joy, ideas, forms, figures. It is your mind. It is a shadow after all. Mind, hollow mirror of which ignorance sees a splendid figure of its own false self, and dreams he sees a glorious solid world. This is the illusion of mind. A thing that is saying wonderful, beautiful, glorious, but it is not there. It is in ignorance that it sees things. Mind, hollow mirror, in which ignorance sees, it is ignorance actually which is saying through mind. A splendid figure of its own false self, of the false self of ignorance itself is what ignorance is seeing, and dreams he sees a glorious world. O soul, he is addressing to Savitri. O soul, inventor of man's thoughts and hopes, thyself the invention of the moment stream. After who you are? You are yourself an invention of time. In the moment of stream you come and disappear. Illusion center of subtle apex point. At last know thyself from vain existence cease. So this is the voice of all dissolving absolute. of black infinity, or the person who has taken a terrible form, who speaks like an ocean of terror, who has sovereign might in his possession. It is he who is telling to Savitri, you are yourself an invention of time. You are yourself an illusion. So you better know what you are, and your wisdom will lie in ceasing to be a shadow of the negating absolute. This is that black infinity, that person, an ocean of terror and soaring might, a shadow of the negating absolute. The intolerant darkness travels surging past and left in her the formidable voice. It came like a rush, like a torrent, like an ocean, past her and ebbed away. It left behind her inner world. It left behind her inner world laid waste. The entire inner world which she has acquired, that has become waste. A barren silence weighed upon her heart. Her kingdom of delight was there no more. Her kingdom of delight was there no more. Only her soul remained. Its emptied stage answering the unknown eternal will. It is only the soul of Savitri who is going to answer to that black infinity. One who had taken that terrible form, a shadow of the negating absolute. It is her soul who can answer, awaiting the unknown eternal will. Then, from the heights, a greater voice came down. The word that touches the heart and finds the soul. The voice of light after the voice of night. Savitri heard the voice of night. In immediate succession, she is going to hear the voice of light. The word that touches the heart and finds the soul. The cry of the abyss drew heaven's reply. That's the greatness of Savitri. The cry of the abyss drew heaven's reply. The might of storm, chased by the might of the sun, the transcendental glory. It is from that source Savitri is hearing the voice. O soul, it is telling Savitri, bear not thy kingdom to the foe. Expose not what you have newly gained to the enemy. Let the enemy not know that. Hide it from him. Consent to hide the royalties of bliss. This is your royal position, great position, majestic position. Don't expose it to the beggars. Lest time and fate find out its avenues and beat the thunderous knock upon thy gaze. Hide what you have gained so far. Hide while thou canst that treasure of separate self. Behind the luminous rampart of thy depths, till of a vaster empire it grows part. Till of a vaster empire it grows apart. Savitri has discovered her soul. The divine consciousness force is seated in it. But that is the siddhi of an individual, a realization of an individual. It has to become universal. If it has to become universal, Savitri has to first meet the challenge of the dark infinity. One who opposes the absolute rule, the rule of light here, she has to meet the challenge. And therefore, when she meets the challenge and establishes her realization in the vaster context, till of a vaster empire, it grows apart. Savitri has to go further. From the individual, she has to now see the entire problem of this opposition in the context of the creation. The problem, the challenge faced by the denial, by the doom, one who arose from the abyss. It is a challenge which is essentially the challenge in the context of the necessary universalization of Savitri's realization. Individually, she has gained all. She has to gain it now for the cosmos, for the universe.